I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You was telling me you was a 5% Muslim, and what is it? It's a. What did you say?
It's a sect of the Nation of Islam.
The 5%ers are a section of the Nation of Islam.
Like, you know, like make a sect out of, like a break off of the Nation of Islam.
A break off.
Yeah. Like they couldn't get along, and their views were clashing. So you know how like you have a book club and somebody else wants to start a little bit of side book club with their own ideas. It's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but my thing is that I'm Muslim too.
Okay.
And like to me, growing up,
yeah,
I always thought Muslims have citizenship or have come or have seen other countries. Maybe not necessarily Africa, but other countries, any country.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was thinking about you the other day, and I was like, how can you be a Muslim and you ain't never been outside of the United States? Whether it be 1%, 2%, 3%, how do you do that? Because I want to be your friend, you know. I like you, you know, you cool. I see you in the neighborhood all the time. But how?
Are based out of Harlem, so.
Harlem, New York.
Yeah, like started out was in Harlem.
Like what?
Started out was actually in Harlem. You can actually go to the spot now.
Yeah.
Today and find out where they started from.
So the five.
I'm married.
Hold on, Miss Lady. Hello? Hi, baby. Huh? I feel fine. I'm out here talking to a 5%er Muslim. She's explaining it to me a little bit more. Okay. So I'm sorry. But so they're out of New York.
Yeah. Started in New York.
You lived in New York for a while?
No.
You visit New York?
No, as a matter of fact, that's a goal of mine.
Oh, is it?
Go to,
it's a good goal to have. It's a goal of mine too, actually.
Yeah.
To go to New York.
Go to starting place, so I can actually ask.
What you call it?
I said go to the place so I can ask questions, and they have classes there and things like that. So
for Muslims.
Well, I mean.
For anybody.
Anybody, yeah.
Okay. See, that's what I be trying to explain sometimes to people, that I'm a different kind of Muslim. Like, I'm more on Barack Obama's level. I'm just like a Muslim like Barack Obama. He's got citizenships in other countries. You understand what I'm saying? Whereas Brother Jabril, who is a Muslim Islamic minister here, he doesn't have citizenship in other countries. Like, he's never been outside of the United States at all. So he can't come back and tell his congregation or people that comes to his church about things that happen outside of our country. Like, why are we at war? You know, he can't minister to what I would consider to be a soldier or somebody who wants to be a soldier in our military or something like that. Because he's like you, a 5% Muslim. He's only been here. So I'm like, does somebody have to give you your 5%? Like, because I met.
You're the first person that ever said you're not Muslim unless you came from.
Well, because in the Holy Quran, which is what most Muslims read, it tells you that you have to be of dual citizenship to even be considered a Muslim in the first place. That not dual citizenship like Pennsylvania and New York. Dual citizenships like the United States and Germany, or the United States and Africa, or the United States and Mexico. That type of dual citizenship. That means you have traveled abroad and you can come back, be a minister, or tell the people something that they have never seen.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, that's the kind of Muslim Barack Obama is. See, Brother Jabril is a different type of Muslim. He ain't never been outside of the United States, period. He barely been outside of Pennsylvania, you know.
Okay.
And so I was telling some people that used to follow him that he's what I would consider not to be a real Muslim. But he never had admitted to being a 5% Muslim. Never had. But I've met 5%ers before, like when I was in Texas. And back in Texas, that's why I was asking you to clarify a little bit, because 5%ers in Texas are gangsters. They're not what you're saying as far as being a 5% Muslim. So like if I go up to somebody and I say I'm a 5%er, that's a gangster to me. Because there's a known gang known to be 5%ers in Texas. So he didn't mean nothing about being a Muslim when he came up to me to tell me he was a 5%er, this one gentleman, a long time ago. So I was just trying to...
I'll ask, I got a brother from New York. I'll ask him. Because
Yeah.
I've never heard anybody say they had that full citizenship.
Yeah, you do. It's written clearly in the Holy Quran, in one of the surahs. It says that when they're speaking of Caucasians and radical Islamic people,
That's pretty big.
they're speaking about that. So when you said you were a 5% Muslim, I was like, is she really a gangster? Is she just kind of not? I don't understand everything she's saying. So I wanted to understand where you was coming from. You know, I did clearly. You know, I'm also a minister, and I do have plans on visiting New York real soon. There are some awards that happens in New York every year, and
Pray for me that I make it.
I'm interested in making it.
Hopefully within the next year, we'll be out of here.
Yeah. So you're planning on moving to New York?
No, Pakistan.
I'm sorry?
Pakistan.
Oh, you're planning on moving to Pakistan?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
Get out of
okay.
here.
Oh, you are with your husband, huh?
Yeah.
You're planning on moving to Pakistan. Well, when you get to Pakistan, you will be a real Muslim.
It's cool.
Look at how much of your life you've had to go through to get there. And you're almost there, huh?
And I tell them I'm a Christian, I'm gonna piss everybody off. They don't want me there.
It's going to piss everybody off.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me you were... Oh, yeah, you did. You sure did tell me that you were a Christian Muslim.
Yeah, so it's on. I'm gonna be a missionary over that motherfucker.
You're in Pakistan.
Everyone's gonna be a God person.
In Pakistan, that's your goals for real.
Yeah.
To be a missionary
Yeah.
in
We're
Pakistan.
gonna bring everybody to God.
To God, why?
Because He's the truth, the way, and the life. No God comes before Him.
Yeah, but there was a whole lot of gods who were above him and walked beside him.
For me,
But you may say that there is no God before. God did say for a fact, don't put any other gods before me. These people that were before him don't call themselves gods. Like for instance, I'm gonna tell you, in the Holy Quran, it tells you Allah will get upset if you call Jesus his son. So I say, because it doesn't talk a lot about the walk that Allah and Jesus had. But a lot of people consider Jesus to be one of the gods, right? So I say a lot of the people who come to the ministry of Islam consider anybody who speaks about God or submits to God, worships God, they call him his son through his son Jesus, because nobody ever got to meet God. So like for instance, Jesus and anybody else, for instance, maybe who's a minister today, for instance, this church back here, Miss B, they call those type of people gods or goddesses, you know. And those are the type of people who don't want any other god or goddess before them because they're the only one. Okay, but that don't mean I can't sit beside you. That don't mean we can't sit at the same table and have dinner. That don't mean I'm above your head and it ain't nothing that I can't explain to you to make you a better person or a better preacher than you were before. You see what I'm saying? So I'm talking about no.
they have to be. If they are worshiping them, they themselves for homosexuals.
An idol worshiper is maybe somebody that I would call like how my brother was. My brother was in the religion of Zen, so he worshipped Buddha. Like, he had Buddha statues all around his place, right? I mean, even some really big ones, you know? So that's an idol to him. But see, my thing is that and you say you're a Christian, but like a lot of Christians, even here in the United States, go around and they wear the cross. You know, when they say in the Holy Bible, thou shalt not make any graven image of me. And they have done that anyway. You know, but these people really do think that their salvation, in the days of their salvation, that they will rest in heaven, that there's a spot for them in heaven, even though they clearly are disobeying the word of God because they're calling themselves Christian. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm glad you do. But, like, it's not like another. I don't have it. My religion is neither one. I'm not a Christian, and my religion is not Islam any longer. So, my religion is neither one. I don't minister in either one of them. I used to, but I don't do it anymore. You know? My religion is a religion you probably never even heard of. So, but my religion is Ma'at. And you probably never heard of the religion of Ma'at. So, you know, I'm not Christian. But, you know, that's what makes the United States the United States. In the U.S. Constitution, you got freedom of religion. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to go anywhere and convert anybody to Christianity. That's the last thing I want to do. Because most of my friends are African Americans or Cherokee. Most of my family is Cherokee. So why would I put myself in a position to try to convert them to Christianity when I know every time I go sit in them pews in the church and pick up that hymn book, they're calling me a nigga because it clearly says Negro spirituals on there. You know what I'm saying? And those white folks aren't embracing us by calling us no N-word. They're actually downing us. And I'm not a nigga because I don't worship God.
It's all right. You shouldn't let no white person stop you from glorifying your God. So, you know, all those barriers he tells you Satan's going to put in your way, they're one of them. No one should stop you from your glory.
So do you believe that there is some things that God did by himself, like without his angels? Do you really believe that God did some things alone without his angels or without the people who listened to what he said and didn't put anybody before him?
I don't think I quite understand what you mean.
Like, and see, I have a whole lot of ministers in my family. Mm-hmm. All right, and each of them have their own style of ministry. And I always say God wasn't alone. And it tells you that clearly in the Bible. At no point in his life was he alone. God himself had people to speak to before he even created his creations. You understand what I'm saying? And so I'm asking, do you think God did some things alone? Like there's things that God can take the credit for all by himself. Like, hey, I did that. I did that. No. So when you say you're 5% Islam, what is it about Islam you believe?
The way of life. The way of life I'm living. It's goal line.
You believe with the Islamic way of life.
Yeah.
That makes you 5%.
Clean living? No. Like you ask, you get paid. Yeah. The lessons are passed amongst ourselves. The lessons are passed with one another.
So you believe in Allah?
If you went to a mosque and said, "May I have a lesson?" most people would probably just look at you.
They will give it to you. But do you believe?
No, they'll say, "What do you mean? You don't know what you're talking about." Like you can't go to a mosque and just ask random.
Yeah, you can.
But some of them won't know what you're talking about, and then there will be some that will know what you're talking about.
Yeah, in my experience, they all know what you're speaking of when you ask for the lesson.
Unless you meet like a 5%, chances are you probably, unless you look it up, you're not going to find the lesson. It's like they're starting to make books now, and you can find it on the internet now. But before, you couldn't go to a bookstore and pick it up.
Okay, my question: do you believe in Allah then?
I'm sorry.
You believe in Allah?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe He exists.
So you're not against anybody that wants to bring people to Allah. Because I say it like this. Is that a no? You're not against any.
Buddha. I think any God that anybody's ever worshipped, it may just exist.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's what confuses me because I'm like, I don't understand why you would want to bring anybody to God when even Jesus himself had to go see his Father, who was considered God. So, a lot of people pray in the name of Jesus, but even Jesus had to go see his Father, who we call God.
Not even Jesus goes to God.
So Jesus did go see God.
Yes, but
and spoke to him a lot.
I would not worship Jesus before God.
No, I'm not talking about that.
And I don't think Jesus.
But people don't pray in the name of. When you pray, you don't pray in the name of God, though, do you? I've never. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You pray in the name of Jesus. You don't pray in the name of God.
The Bible says, "Pray in my Son's name."
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying a lot of people, when it comes to Jesus, considers Jesus to be one of the gods. People put Jesus before they do put God. Yes, some people do. Even though Jesus himself had to go see his Father. But I'm glad you do believe in Allah too. I'm glad you do.
I couldn't live this life if I didn't.
Yeah.
I asked God permission to say thank you to Allah.
From New York, you're going to Pakistan, huh?
I don't know if I'll ever make it to New York.
Yeah.
Really? I don't.
Well,
I tend to make everybody mad because I ask them questions.
I like you, but I'm not going to wish you the best because I wish all of my people get away from Jesus and God. Really, I do. I mean, in my religion, there is an eye of God, but there is other eyes out there that get stuff done too. You understand where I'm coming from? Like, God wasn't the only one who got stuff done. Moses got some stuff done. Moses was considered one of the soldiers for God. So he got stuff done too, right? So in my religion, God does exist, but there are other people who get stuff done today. Not old, based off of the 1800 century type stuff. Today. In 2018, today. And are still writing books in regards to the religion today. So, thank you for the clarity because I really needed it. I was thinking, I was like, I didn't know if you believed in Allah or not, so that's good to know. And then I was confused when you said you were a 5% Muslim because, like I said, where I come from, 5%ers is a gang, a known gang. Like, they're a known gang to anybody who's ever been on a gang watch list or ever been in a gang or have a friend who's in a gang and knows a lot about different top of the line gang people like Bloods or Crips or anything like that. The 5%ers are a gang.
We're often called the nation of God, the nation of God's and earth.
You do what?
We're also known as the nation of God's and earth.
The nation of gods and what?
Earth.
Earth.
Yeah.
The nation of gods and earth?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
So you look at it. You can find it online now. Take a look at the lessons. See what I'm talking about.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to look it up. Because, I say it like this. A minister is more powerful when they can sit down with another minister and that minister is like, you know what? Their whole thinking changes. And they're like, you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
Or they can make that person speechless. You understand what I'm saying? Because they realize that this ministry that they've been given for years is wrong.
Yeah. It's alright because even
I had a minister one time that gave a ministry to people that was sitting in his church, and he said he didn't call them niggas, but he said all y'all nappy headed people, and he's the minister in the pulpit.
Satan lives in the church too.
Then Satan does live in the church. Yes, he does. Oh, yes, he does. Very much so. Very much. Thank you.
Tell him to go ahead in the name of Jesus.
I mean, thank you.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you. Yeah.
A lot of black folks.
You would have been offended too, huh?
Yeah, but I'm saying a lot of black folks let stuff like that stop them. And that's exactly what their plan is. Like, if I tell you my store is racist, you're not going to come in, which is my whole goal. I don't want you in there anyway.
Right.
Alright, so that's one thing. I'm not going to eat off of somebody I know doesn't like me because you can do whatever you want to when I come into your store. But if I know that my God exists You're not going to stop me from.
Right. See,
you're
I
not
tell
gonna
people.
Stop me with what you got to say because that's not something Bible. You can't.
Right.
You
Right.
can't,
Your religion is your choice.
Put poison in that.
Definitely.
You can put poison in my food, but
Definitely.
you have to put poison in the word.
Definitely.
But
I tell people sometimes there are some people that have gotten through their whole entire life without God. Like there are people who are in Islam who are Muslim and their higher power is Allah, period, point blank, no question. You understand? And they don't do things. They can do things without God. Yeah, they know still things can get accomplished without God.
Exactly. They do not feel clean enough to touch a Bible.
Who? People in Islam don't touch the Bible?
They know God exists. They know the Bible is real deal.
Yeah.
But they will not touch a Bible because they don't feel clean enough to touch it.
I don't think it's because they don't feel clean. They're clean.
They don't feel as clean
it's just,
enough to say.
It's just they don't want. They call it poison. They don't want that poison influencing them or their people.
So, yeah, that's what I've witnessed is that they don't feel clean enough to even put it in their hands.
Wow.
And there's also a threat to your life if you put it in your hands. Like you could really lose your life if you study Christianity.
I mean, it doesn't take a lot. Seminary school, and you're done. You know what I'm saying? There's not a whole lot to Christianity.
I'm talking about a whole Muslim
Not a whole
country.
lot to that. Yeah, I would love that though.
Your life is in your hands.
I would love that though.
Talking about Christianity.
The thing about America is that really, in reality, a lot of people probably, if you talk to a soldier, they'll probably admit that. If you talk to a military brat, they'll probably admit that. But there are folks who do not want to live in a Muslim majority country. I'm Muslim. Ain't no way around it. I was born that way. You know what I'm saying? But it's easy to make the United States of America a Muslim majority country. It's easy. You know what I'm saying? You got all these people still entering into the military, and the first place we ship them is overseas.
A true Muslim.
So
most people couldn't do that.
Yeah, it'll be easy to make the United States a Muslim majority country. Easy.
True Islamic, if you lived the clean life that they lived, most Americans couldn't even handle that.
Yeah, they can.
No.
They do it now. They do it now. The thing is that when you acknowledge it and you speak it to them, their attitude changes. But as long as they don't know, it's cool. But it is true. It is true. Our soldiers' heritage line runs so long, and people are still. We're making new Muslims every day.
Yeah, but
every single day. Not a 1%, not a 5%, 100% Muslims every day.
Your life consists of waking up, going to work, and going back to sleep. A prayer between, and eating. Eating, prayer, and work. That would be your life. But most Americans couldn't do that.
Right. Well, I mean, people think that the praying 5 times a day is the only thing that makes you Muslim. It's way more than that to being Muslim. Praying 5 times a day is the object in the religion of Islam, yes. But there are Muslims, as you said, that are of other religions. It's true. It's true. But it will still be very easy to make the United States a Muslim majority country.
Sleep and pray.
Very easy.
Period.
Very easy. Well, I mean, there's more. We gotta love. Our children gotta come from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You can't do just that.
71% of the
That's like the not the Methodists. That's like the Mormons. Mormons don't even want us to see their women. Mormons don't send their women out to do their religious work. They pick boys that are going into manhood to go out to do their religious work, and then they'll come back and tell you you'll never see a woman Mormon because it's only the male Mormons that come out to speak amongst the people about their religion.
We've been here, Black Muslims, been here for
oh yeah, since the beginning of time. Oh yeah, of course.
Have we learned yet?
Of course.
No, we haven't learned.
But I tell you what, there are Muslims that will admit to you that Allah does exist, though.
The only difference between Black
They
Muslim
sure
and
will.
original Muslim is that they come here willingly, and we were brought here as slaves. We were brought here over 2,000 years ago.
See, but I wasn't. But I'm not a part of that people, though.
That's
And sometimes people look at me and get me confused for that type of person.
Original
But I'm not.
Cherokee.
Yeah.
Some people fought to kill some natives and get here too.
I'm an original Black Native American from the United States. My heritage is here. I am Muslim. So I've been places. That's what I'm telling you.
So your ancestors took some original people. They did. Be here. Hold on a second. Let me just do the drive.
But thank you for the clarity. That's what I wanted. Because where I come from, the 5%ers are a gang. And it's a little bit different mind frame. So that's what I wanted.